Prince Andrew, he was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his kid. I was really pissed because he lied to me. Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was f***ing underage girls. That's not cool.
John Bryan has been a close confidant to the British royal family for a long time. He worked for Queen Elizabeth II, was, quote, best friends with Princess Diana, and had a long-term intimate relationship with the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson. According to Bryan, he practically raised Sarah Ferguson's children, the princesses Beatrice and Eugene. And Bryan said that he maintained a friendship with Ferguson's husband, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew.
Tell me, like, your story.
So my story, you want to know my story?
What?
Like, I've been so famous at times when I was on the front page of every newspaper because I was working with the Queen of England.
Okay.
You know, she's Queen Elizabeth. I was working with all the families. Princess Diana was my best friend. And I met the Duchess of York.
Okay.
That's Prince Andrew's wife. They were separated. And Sarah and I sort of fell in love. And we lived together for like 7 years. In my house in England. And I raised their 2 little children.
Wait, her
Beatrice and Eugenie. Those were my children. Those were my kids. I raised those kids. Day to day raised. I was father to those kids.
Prince Andrew's connection to Jeffrey Epstein emerged in 2010, when photos showed them walking together in New York's Central Park. Epstein had already been convicted in 2008 of procuring a 14-year-old girl for prostitution. In 2014, a woman named Virginia Giuffre alleged in a Florida court filing that Jeffrey Epstein paid her to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17, a minor. On April 25th, a few weeks ago, Giuffre died by, quote, suicide. Prince Andrew denied Giuffre's sex abuse allegations in a now infamous 2019 BBC interview.
She said she had sex with you 3 times, once on his private island in a group of 7 or 8 other girls.
No.
No to all of it?
All of it. Absolutely no to all of it.
The interview was a public relations disaster for the royal family and prompted the Queen to strip Prince Andrew of his royal duties. In the aftermath of that interview, the prince sought advice from a longtime royal family confidant, John Bryan.
Wait, so you were not friends with Prince Andrew?
Oh, very good. Oh, no, we were very civilized. We'd go have dinner at his house. He'd have dinner at my house to see his kids. So then, we go on a holiday in the south of France. And I get a big property, like 10 acres, right near Central Bay, right? You know, nobody has 10 acres. I'm on the biggest property, beautiful house. And I rent it so that we have privacy, right? Because there's paparazzi everywhere. There's hundreds of paparazzi, not 10, not 20, hundreds. I know.
And this is already when Prince Andrew.
Yes, Prince Andrew. Yeah, he's on the. He was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his kid.
2 weeks after Prince Andrew's BBC interview, John Bryan was brought to the Royal Lodge, where Prince Andrew lives, to offer crisis management advice. According to the Telegraph, the meeting was conducted discreetly. At the royal residence, Bryan observed that Prince Andrew was visibly distressed and struggling to focus, reportedly unable to concentrate for more than 40 minutes at a time due to the strain he was under. As reported in the Daily Mail, John Bryan constructed a 5-page document emphasizing that Prince Andrew should publicly show empathy for Epstein's victims. Back in November 2022, Bryan publicly stated that he believed Prince Andrew was innocent of the claims made against him related to the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scheme. Now, in our exclusive hidden camera undercover footage, John Bryan reveals for the first time that Prince Andrew did, in fact, have sex with underage girls.
Was he already even like involved with like
For other girls. I was so pissed about that. I was
Has there
really
ever-
pissed. I was really pissed because he lied to me about
lied about
Epstein. Yeah. No, I knew he saw him, but he lied to me that he was such a close friend. I was so pissed. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew, and then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was f***ing underage girls.
Now, our newsroom has some concerns about where this investigation is headed and who may be implicated. But our only motivation in doing these stories is the public's right to know. And if this report and our subsequent reports shine a light into darkness and expose evil, then we are willing to take the risks. At the end of the day, child victims of Jeffrey Epstein need to be protected, and the people involved need to be held accountable by law enforcement immediately. Without accountability, our notion of freedom is just an illusion. We're going to be breaking our next stories exclusively at o'keefemediagroup.com. You may see this Project Veritas sign behind me. Stay tuned for next week.
Hannah, the founder of Clever Blends, on Meghan Sussex's podcast, talks about how actually nursing someone through grief led to the mushroom coffee, mushroom cappuccinos that they are now famous for. So essentially, her co-founder, Raj, was going through hell. He lost his mom, which was very sudden, very unexpected, and everything changed. So she started making him these reishi cappuccinos, and reishi is this mushroom that helps calm the nervous system. And no, not those kind of mushrooms, by the way. And people, when they hear mushroom coffee, they go, oh, it's some trippy wellness woo-woo thing. But no, these are actually confirmed functional ingredients with real science backing. And actual studies show that they lower cortisol levels, and cortisol is a stress hormone, and studies have shown that they lower cortisol levels by 35%, and that is a big deal. So it wasn't just a trend for her. It was about coping, it was about helping to nurse her friend, and it was about helping her friend on his healing journey. So sometimes when you do something good for somebody, you never know where that could lead. And right now, Clever Blends is very famous, a brand, and they are doing really, really well. And yeah, I just thought, let me share that part of the podcast that really, really resonated with me. And I think there's a business lesson there that you can still do good, you can still do things with purpose, and still make a profit. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur, and for more insights like these, please like, share, and follow, and comment for more. So Hannah talks about how she and her co-founder made their idea real. So they built a bar, they welded it to a van, and they drove across the country, even down to Guatemala. And they were serving these drinks to very confused but curious people. And they loved it. Not just the taste, but how it made them feel. And then people started asking, how can I make this at home? And then she thought, nah, you can't. Not unless you've got like a Narnia level pantry. So Raj, her co-founder, challenged her. And he said to her, why don't you turn this drink into a high quality instant latte? And yeah, so of course, this was the sexiest product category ever, but they did it. And then one day she gets a message from a friend, and the friend says, hey, I shared your, turmeric latte with my neighbor, And guess who the neighbor was? Oprah. And yeah, she made the drink on camera. Oprah did, made the drink on camera. And she took a sip and she said, "It's delicious. Happy holidays." And of course, Hannah legit collapsed. I mean, what a moment, right? So yeah, I love that story. And what I'm finding from Meghan's podcast is that there are so many incredible stories that are being shared by these founders, and these stories are relatable. They're very, very personal, and you can learn a lot from them. So yeah, if you haven't already, go have a listen to Confessions of a Female Founder. My name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur, and for more stories like these, please like, share, and follow me for more. This TikTok is just a random one. I just want to talk about social class, media control, and royal mythology. And this happened because somebody said, how does British society really work? Because they couldn't understand why people who have only been seen a handful of times were taking 4 or 5 holidays, and it was only April. And I said, well, maybe I should try and look at the truth behind the curtain. So this is not what about they teach you. This is about what really happens. And this is something I think we've all been conditioned to accept. So here goes. So British society is not just about money. It's about class. And it's about these invisible rules, this unspoken deference to people who are supposed to be above you. And it's also about generational gatekeeping. What do I mean? So in Britain, who you are matters than what you do. In a number of countries around the world, what you do or who you become is more important than where you started. But in I would say in Britain in particular, who you are is more important than what you do. So your accent, your school, your postcode, they all speak louder than merit. Sad but true. And of course, the media, they've never been independent because they are owned by, well, the media in the UK, most of our media is maybe owned by 4 or 5 individuals, and they're all billionaires and they're very, very rich. And the media's role is to protect privilege and punish anybody that deviates from that. So that's why you find that what they do is they will build you up. And there's a family recently, the Beckhams, so they will build you up and then they will tear you down when you forget your place. And as for the royals, they are not just figureheads. They are the living symbol of the class system. So they are at the very top, and everything else underneath is propping them up. And the royal family, they represent a story that the UK will cling to forever and a day. And this hierarchy to them is very natural. Tradition is sacred. And they truly believe that some people just belong above others. They believe that, truly. Whether the people have earned it or not, they believe that some people deserve to be up there by birth rather than some people. And as for the tabloids, they're not just selling gossip, because gossip sometimes can be harmless. They are there to enforce the rules of this theatre that the UK has created for itself. If you rise too fast, they will humble you. If you dare to step out of line and not maintain that kind of hierarchy For example, if you are a prince and you decide, okay, I'm going to choose love or truth over duty, the machine will be activated and that machine is going to crush you because you are deviating. You are not upholding what you are supposed to. British society, I find, extremely polite on the surface. So very, very polite on the surface. But underneath, it's very brutal and it's about control. So if you've ever felt the tension between, okay, visibility and knowing your place, you are not imagining it. A lot of people that look like me speak about this happening in corporate places. So they're thinking, okay, but the reason I was employed was to do X, Y, Z. And yet, you're not imagining it. You are seeing the system very, very clearly. And that's the way it's been designed to operate. And I dare say that's the way it's going to be for quite a while yet. So anyway, my name's Elizabeth. I'm the author of The Luxpreneur, and I talk about things like this and more in my book. And please, for more insights, please like, follow, share, comment for more.
I think people find it hard to believe that this is just who she is, how she is. We may not get it, we may not understand it, but
is it though? Is it? I think that's what people have a problem with.
This is the thing: is that why is there so much scrutiny on? Is she being who she is? She's giving us her genuine, authentic self. I don't know why we have such a problem with believing that. It's almost like we are sitting here saying, how dare she be this person? This is not who we've painted her out to be. So therefore, we've decided that everything she's doing is a lie. It's like we're almost saying the audacity of this person to send her kids emails, to say that she's hardworking, to cook in a white shirt, to have a Netflix show, to wear those jeans. Like, imagine that this is just who she is.
Inspire a generation.
When you see Prince Harry advocating for interacting with the military community at events like Invictus, he is absolutely in his element. You can tell that that's when he's at his best.
It's an environment where he finds people deal with him on the level. He doesn't have to be a prince. He can just be an officer and Harry.
And you as individuals are people of substance, of resilience, of strength, and of heart. You have the heart of Invictus.
The Invictus is Harry's #1 passion project. It's been very successful since its outset. It doesn't come cheap, it costs a lot of money, and he's been able to continue to raise that money throughout this period, which is impressive. But I think there was a degree of jealousy about how well it had gone. I do think that William was surprised how much this had been such a success and how much money was being thrown into it and how many governments were getting involved.
Harry is no longer a working royal. Invictus no longer sits under the umbrella of organisations that the royal family officially are part of, and therefore they haven't mentioned it at all since Harry stepped back as a working royal.
2025 taking place in Whistler and Vancouver. It'll be the first ever Winter Games. More than 500 wounded service members from up to 25 nations will participate in about a dozen events, including alpine skiing and skeleton, the head-first luge.
Prince Harry spitting facts. Meghan was the only self-made woman to marry into the royal family.
Previous women marrying into or in relationships with members of my family. And they're coming in almost with a blank slate, and it gives the British press an opportunity to cast them in a particular role. And when Meghan came into the fold, they tried to do that to her as well. But she was coming into a relationship with me in her mid-30s. She had a very public career of which millions of people knew who she was because they'd been following her. But this time, fans and people who knew Meghan were pushing back and saying, that's categorically false. You can't say that based on the fact that we know who she is.
Very philanthropic. She's also a part of the UN. She does a lot of charity work, which is probably their original connection.
I remember we discussed this, wouldn't it be great if somebody already had their identity, some successors, and had carved their role in the world?
If there is a problem out there, and we have the means to really find the call to action and do something about it, then I completely believe that it's our responsibility to do it.
We've got perfect Kate, trashy Meghan.
The list of complaints against Meghan is astounding. She made avocado toast for a friend who was visiting, and he put it on Instagram, and then suddenly the headlines were about how she is contributing to climate change and unfair labor practices, and she's choosing
end of the world.
Yeah.
But when Prince William bought Kate an avocado for her morning sickness, oh, that's wonderful. What a wonderful, loving husband.
And once again, you see the difference in the way the press treated those two women.
You only need to look at some of the coverage that has called Kate a fashion icon for wearing a strapless dress, but then called Meghan vulgar just a few weeks earlier.
Vulgar! Her fashion choices raised many eyebrows. It's a disgrace.
And it's these sort of discrepancies that have made it quite difficult to understand what it is that the British press have had in for Meghan.
So, yeah, I can understand why he's blaming the media, because the media are to blame.
Do you think race played a big part here?
We saw it in the British press. You know, these tones, these words being used as exotic, or Harry's new girlfriend straight out of Compton.
When people say, that's not a racial undertone, that's just racist, isn't it?
Nowhere near Compton. She's from Los Angeles. She went to a private school in Hollywood.
All the coverage of her is not as one of us, but of this strange, exotic being. She's not the all-white, all-wholesome girl that Kate is.
He sees what his wife is going through now. And this is all very, very raw with him.
Now, Meghan is being blamed. Blame the black woman. She's separated Harry from his family.
The reason that they didn't want any press pictures of Archie after he was born, because they knew perfectly well that all the press wanted to know was what colour was he.
So not only is the new Pope black, because he's Creole and Haitian, his ancestors are from New Orleans too. Cardinal Robert Prevost has ancestors from New Orleans. They put a black man as the Pope. Y'all saw that tan he got today? Y'all saw that tan he got today? Y'all saw that tan. New Orleans and Haitian. That's wild. Because you know what? Them other people, they having a fit, y'all. They do not like this man because he's apparently progressive. And he doesn't side with the things that the orange man is doing. Baby, them other people having a fit. Do you hear me? They having a fit that they got him in there. But they didn't have a fit when the orange man decided that he wanted to cosplay as the Pope. They didn't have a fit about that. But baby, we got a black man as the Pope. How about that? How about that?
You have been lied to. Racism is a made-up constraint to keep you angry and focused on the wrong things. You are encoded light, sacred geometry and motion, sound made flesh. Melanin is not pigment, it is liquid crystal, a conductor of source frequencies, a cosmic antenna, tuned to the sun, to the stars, to the divine grid that once governed the earth. Your ancient African bloodlines are not primitive. They are magnificently esoteric. You are prime, the original note in the divine chord of humanity. Your DNA holds solar memory, stellar codes, and resilience that could not be erased through chains, centuries, or slaughter. The reason you were enslaved was not weakness. It was to keep you under control, because you are the very frequency that can collapse the parasitic grid. Power you still carry, and this is true for all the bloodlines of Earth, the starborn, the firekeepers, the crystal seers, you who descend from Egypt, from Atlantis, from the tribes of the north and the rooted earth of the south. You carry remnants of Eden in your very cells. Why do you think they poison your skies, your foods, your thoughts? Because you are the ones who can rebuild the garden. You are the seeds of the golden age. You are the temples, the towers, the songs. And here is the secret. You are not meant to bow. You are meant to rise, to reawaken your DNA through light, through love, through unity, to walk this earth not as a debtor or sinner, but as a living emissary of the infinite. The new world will not be led by kings, nor billionaires, nor machines. It will be sung into form by the awakened human. And when one of you remembers, you become a tuning fork for thousands. So rise, not in anger, but in divine authority. Hold your ancestors in your heart and walk as though you were chosen, because, my loves, you were.
Hello, my people. Lady Rose here. How y'all doing? To all my new subscribers, you're welcome. And my returning subscribers, y'all know I love you. Guys, these UK people, they actually do show up by themselves, opening up about lots of stuff. You know, one day, baby, only one day, these people gonna really come out here and flip and tell y'all guys everything that's going on around that monarchy. Did y'all guys see these people can't shut up with the name of our Royal Highness Prince Harry? They just can't shut up about all this court whatever. But you know, the real thing that's happening here is this dude, the guy that you heard talking around here. That guy. So remember, this Peter Prince came out and denied every single damn thing. The Peter Prince denied everything, but little that he knew, there are people who dated his ex-wife, who helped him raise his daughters, who took care of business. You know, you know, the guy just saying it all, guys. I have no comments right now. So these people, they're just gonna keep talking about Harry and Meghan, but the real issue is there. Let's see how many of those newspapers are gonna come out with this real juice that got spilled by this dude. Let's wait and see. Let's wait. I'm just sitting down here. I'm just gonna be traveling around the social media, try to find some more information about this thing. Remember, this guy came out here, denied touching any kind of minor. A minor. That made me remember Kendrick Lamar, I tell you. Oh boy. He came here, remember that BBC interview? Remember that interview? He came out there and denied every single damn thing. But the real thing is out here. He said, I had never seen that kid. I never touched any kind of minors and this and that. But guess what? I don't know if this thing here was leaked by mistake or it was done purposefully, because I know one day all these people who are ruining their reputations supporting this evil family, they will come out here, all of them. They're gonna come and tell y'all guys the real truth about that family. Just wait. This guy here came out clean about all this guys nonsense. The next thing you're gonna wait, just wait. Something is gonna come about that Charlie boy, but I know why it's not coming about Charlie boy. It's about that invisible contract they have, and on top of that, this guy here, this Peter Prince, is also being rewarded by his brother, because guess what? They used to do that same thing together. That guy, Charlie boy, used to go on that island also. Everyone who used to be on that island was doing bad things to little kids. All of them. That was the Doom's Island. You know that island? So I wonder what this guy is going to come and say these days. And he's probably going to say, because this guy is like used to date my wife, and that's why he doesn't like me. He's just spewing all the lies out, because guess what? He just doesn't like who I am and all those, and I don't know whatever. But we all know the truth. You know, apparently that thing was done. He didn't even know that he was being recorded. So some that it's just a leaky. It's like actually good news. So this is the real news that those people have out here. Y'all, the guys need to talk about this one more. All the success friendly channels, Success Spotlight, Isabella Banks channel, the Success Squad channel, the Success Family channel, all of y'all guys out there, yeah, all of y'all guys need to take this one here, put it on the news today and tomorrow. Let's talk about it at least for 3-4 days, so those people could stop talking about the Duchess's success and her husband. Yeah, he's Royal Highness Prince Harry. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's expose these people. Share this video. Take this part here that I did put in my video here, cut it and put it in yours and talk about it. Talk about this the pedo stuff, you know, the pedo stuff. You guys need to expose that thing. Why y'all guys are so quiet? This is the thing that we need to start pushing back and expose it to the world and tell people who these people really are. You know, we can't let them keep controlling the narratives, guys. We can do better than that. Come on out here, talk about this one, expose these people and my folks, and we gonna be good next week. All right, family. I'll talk to y'all guys again tomorrow. Bye for now. Hey, Lulu, you want to come say hi to people? Come say hi. Hi, people. Oh, come on. Is that hi? Was that hi? It said hi, people. Oh, boy. Bye.